Hi there guys, welcome to another edition of Wildtimes. I've decided to have a little look at the garden again. See, the washing's hanging up. But I've decided to have a look at the garden again and see where it's come. So a month ago I did a video showing you what I've done in my garden to bring wildlife in. And I feel I'll give you guys a little update now that we've got another month on. The weather has drastically improved, we had a very wet May. Just to show you what stuff's kind of popped up. We'll start with the pond. So obviously the greenery around the pond has exploded this last month. Looking around there. So what I do in this little area over here is like I like to call my little wild area, where I just let things grow. I let anything happen. A lot of this grass I think's come from the bird seed from the feeder. So I used to use a mixed bird seed, now I'm just using hearts. It's a lot, I think, better. And now we've got the wild flowers growing up as well. Some bees coming down. That's what it's all about after all. Trying to catch a bee. There it is. So it's very hard to see through the lens at the minute because the sun's shining straight on it. There we go. So it is working. So I just basically let the weeds grow up really, and that's the best thing for the bees. This section here I basically threw down a load of like good for bees seed to see what would happen. And a few little things have grown up. These little red things down here have grown up. I like purpley colour thing there. But it's generally just stuff like loads of weeds and stuff have grown up. But that's good because like, obviously these type of weeds here, although they are quite nasty looking and they're not the best looking things, when the flowers open up, the bees just swarm all over them, which is fantastic. I actually planted some plants. I planted a bit of lavender just there. No, that's not it. It's very hard to see anything at the minute. It's somewhere. There it is, there's the lavender. So I planted something that's very good for bees. I planted over here. Again, I'm really struggling to see what's on this, what I'm looking at the minute through the camera. I'm trying to zoom in as well. Yeah, there are buddleia, which is fantastic for butterflies and bees again. So yeah, and obviously the tadpoles are out and swimming around. I don't know if you can see those in there. They're doing well. So what I do with the pond, try and keep it a bit nice. I keep the duckweed because obviously the duckweed is natural to go in there, but it does tend to overtake. So what I tend to do is scoop some out every once in a while. Obviously looking for any inverts, and as I scoop it out, it takes quite a long time to scoop it out. So I always look for the inverts, any tadpoles that got mixed up in it and put them back in. And there's the plants you see in there called water soldiers. I bought one and they've just exploded over the last 2 years. Because obviously this pond started off in a different house. And when I moved, I actually packed the pond up and moved it with me, the liner and everything. So I emptied the pond out into buckets, kept all the water, brought it here with me, dug a hole, put the liner back in and kept it going. So it's actually a moved pond to keep it established, to keep it going for longer. Obviously we've got pond plants that I put in there just become grass plants. They used to be a certain type of plant, but now something else has taken over, but I sort of leave that as it is. All these like logs I've just found in my local woodland, like bits like that. You just get from any of your local woodlands, pick them up from the floor, carry them home. People think you're a weirdo when you do it. Some bushes, right, so that's the pondage section, and obviously we've let all this grow up here and get a bit bushier. Okay, this is the wild section. Obviously when it gets a bit, starts to fall down, I will put it all back, but it's generally the wild section. Obviously this is getting a bit near the kids' swing now, so I'll probably have to trim some of that back at some point. That was Eric's cage. Eric is no longer with us, just to let you know. He flew the coop, as it were. I opened the door and the wind caught it, and I think it scared me, flew out. But he keeps coming back. We keep spotting him in the garden. We spotted him up trees. We've spotted him destroying the bird feeder. He actually picks up the feeder, shakes it, and eats everything that falls out of it. He's very clever. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our bee boxes, or bee hotels that we got. Now, when I showed you remember that it was kind of empty. Well, now obviously they're not empty. They're being filled quite drastically. There we go, all been filled. So I'll probably get some more of those at some point. I might end up with the whole wall over here looking like the bee place. Yeah, so you remember, guys, I told you about the bee hotel video. We'll look at that. They're now full and doing well. We often see more bees coming in that, so there's still more work to be done there by the bees. This is our little butterfly feeding section now. So you put out a ripe banana, leave it on there. The butterfly should come down neat off that. That's something new I added. Obviously we've got the bird boxes, and obviously if you saw my other video about how the birds failed in their boxes, the blue tits failed. The squirrel feeder's doing well. There we go. That's doing well. They're down every morning. We see those down there. Obviously, I don't know if there's any bats yet because I've never seen any go in and out. It could be that there's nothing in there. It could be there's something in there, but you never know. I might try and put the camera trap up there one day and see if we can see anything flying in and out. But trying to catch one of those on the trap will be ridiculous because they're gone in seconds and you'd barely see them. As I said, the blue tip nest box is sadly failed, which upset us all really, but it's just one of those things, one of those nature things. If you obviously look back at that video if you want to see that. Here you've got our flowers. Obviously a lot of these are great for bees. This is more Laura's section. She doesn't necessarily plant things because they're great for bees, she plants for them to look at. But to be honest with you, the bees come down for those as well, so it's kind of working both ways. I do love these flowers. Some of these flowers actually sort of made it out onto the grass now, so obviously they're doing well. So actually making it out to the grass, which again makes me happy. And when it comes to the lawn, obviously we do cut the lawn because it is for the kids, but I like to leave like sections of it around the edges, a little bit bushy to get some seeds going and stuff, things growing. Obviously around the edges here are quite bushy. This will probably end up getting cut back because Laura can only take so much. And I don't want to upset her that much. But obviously it's starting to get a bit overgrown around here. We're letting all things grow up here. And these little things like this is what you can do for nature. If you just got a line, there's like a line of dirt that runs next to the patio section in between the fence. So I'm just letting stuff grow up there. Obviously you've got the ivy growing up. That's one of the ones that failed again sadly, but you've got the ivy grow up here. This is the next door neighbour's buddleia, which in the summer, when it actually bursts out in bloom, thousands of butterflies and bees there every day, which is why, purposely the reason why I got my own one. Because I'm a bit like that, I like to steal people's ideas. And again, down on the fence along here, we're actually going to put up a more of a trellisy sort of stuff across here soon. I've actually bought it, but I haven't put it up yet. Just a bit of privacy for the neighbours, which is not fair. But I'm going to try and leave a little section for hedgehogs and her cat to come back and forth. Obviously the feeders are always doing well. As you can see, they're using those. And the empty feeder you see up there used to have mealworms in it, and now it's obviously all gone because the starlings destroy it, and the bird tables. So yeah, and then we're back to the pond. Obviously the hedgehog house over there is being engulfed at the minute in stuff. Which I don't know if that's better or worse for the hedgehogs, who knows. Yeah, and back to the pond. So yeah, that's another little thing of what will happen in the summer as stuff comes in and out of bloom now. We're getting the bees coming in, we're getting the butterflies coming in. We had a damselfly flying around the other day. I don't know if he come from my pond or not, but it was here. It's all beautiful stuff, guys. So you have a little bit of, and to be honest, the funniest thing is, right, the less effort you put in, the more you get. And it's true, I mean, like, I'm not cutting anything back, I'm not putting any effort in. I planted 2 plants and threw some seed on the floor. That's literally all I did to get what's going on over here. I mean, most of this is natural anyway, most of this come from natural stuff anyway. But like things like this tall grass is probably from the bird feeder, because I dumped some of the old seed in that corner to get rid of it and thought like mice and things would come and eat it. And if I show you what's happened, so yeah, that load of grass down there is just where I dumped a load of old seed that I didn't want to use anymore because it was going a bit funny. It'd been there for a while, and now we've got that. And in fact, didn't notice this before, because it's a bit of a darker area, we've also got some fungus. Love it. But yeah, so I dumped loads of old bird seed and it's basically all grown. But there we go. Oh, I think something happened there that's similar as well. So yeah, we've got all this vegetation, all these plants, cover for animals in the shade, cover for insects. Brings so much into the garden. Some more bird box up there, didn't really got any interest this year. Yeah, and rubbish. But yeah, so with the most minimal effort, you end up creating a paradise. The kids seem to dump their bikes around, but a paradise for wildlife. Obviously we've got a train track down the back there that gives us our little wildlife corridor in that direction towards Warren Wood. But yeah. So guys, least effort possible, maximum fun. For me anyway. And for you, if you love your nature, do a little bit less. Put some bee loving plants in the garden, put some water. Water, that is the most attractive thing to anything in a garden. It doesn't even have to be that big. Get a bucket, put it under the ground, it's done. There we go. Obviously the grass is now growing on the edges, everything is loving it. fingers crossed we can get some different things in there. I might even do a video of pond dipping my own pond soon, but it's sort of that sort of stage ready. Anyway guys, I'm glad you enjoyed this little walk around the garden. I might do another one in a month, see where we're at then. And we'll do slowly different stages of a nature garden throughout time. Obviously at the minute I'm trying different things with the camera trap. I've had some failures as well. I've tried putting, what have I tried doing? I've tried putting a moth trap out, because I saw how to make your own one on the telly, and I don't think the bulb was bright enough because we got 0 moths, which upset the kids a little bit, but these things happen. I put out like a mammal feeder, like for foxes and squirrels and the like, and only cats ate everything from it, so we got a lot of footage of cats eating on the camera traps. Then I put out, what else? We went rock pooling, and we turned up at the wrong time. The tide was in, so we couldn't really rock pool. We found the world's smallest crab. It was literally, oh, I don't even know, it was like a little bit bigger than a pin, like head part of a pin. So that wasn't really worth showing on the video. But you do fail sometimes, like you do fail to see things, but then that's part of the fun of it, like to go and find stuff. You never know what you're going to find. Some days you'll go out, I can put my hand right in front of the camera. Some days you'll go out and you'll go looking for a swan, and you won't find a swan, but you find 20 other different things that's worth looking at. And with me, I get so excited I forget to turn the camera on. The amount of times I've sat there with the camera aiming at something and I forgot to press record, you wouldn't believe. Like there's been some good quality stuff that I've been watching and recording, but without not recording sadly, but just pushing the button, forgetting to push the button. Because I'm so excited about what I'm seeing, I forget these things. Anyway guys, as I said before, because I do like to ramble on, I ramble on a lot. Anyway guys, thanks for watching again. If you like and you want to see more of what's to come, please like and share. We do have other plans for different things. I'm still working on my little project that I'm doing, which is involving things that you might not like. All right, see that one. I'm trying to change your mind. That's coming soon. Anyway, guys, have fun. I'll see you all soon, and like this stuff. Bye bye.